Today, I'm going to talk about places not to move to, places to avoid if you're thinking about moving to Central Florida. Or even if you're thinking about moving within our area, you might want to hang on because these places can be a real nightmare to live in for some people. My name is Bent Danholm, and I'm a real estate broker with Maxim Realty Orlando. And I've been doing this for a long time, and I do talk to a lot of people about moving to the area, moving within the area. And one of the most common questions I get from the people I talk to is, are there areas we should avoid? Are there areas we should strike off our list? Are there areas you would recommend us not to move to? And yes, there are certainly areas that I would recommend you not to move to under certain circumstances. Because one thing I want to make absolutely clear from the beginning of this video is that all of these places that I'm going to talk about today have some really nice things going for them, but they have one thing in common that may mean that it's not the right place for you to live. And I'll get back to that a little bit later in the video. But first, I'd like to remind you that if you like the videos I'm making, if you like to be kept up to date on Central Florida real estate, Central Florida life in general, then please subscribe to my channel and hit that little notification button so you can be notified every time I upload a video. And what would also be very helpful and much appreciated would be if you have a comment, if you're thinking, well, he's totally bonkers and he's absolutely right, or whatever you're thinking about what I'm saying in the video, please drop me a comment because I really appreciate, whether it's good or bad. I really like to get the feedback because I'd like to know if I'm going in the right direction with the videos I'm making, if I'm actually being useful for you. So if you have any comments, please put them in the comments below. And if you like what I'm doing and you don't have the time for a full comment, then maybe just give me a thumbs up. That would be much appreciated too. Now that we got that out of the way, let's move on and let's get to the first area. The thing I'm talking about here is traffic congestion. Because like I said, all of the areas I'm going to talk about today, all are really nice areas to live in, but they do have that one thing in common. They are some of the most congested areas in Central Florida. So if you have a need for a daily or weekly or any form of regular commute in and out of where you live to certain parts of Central Florida, these areas might not be the right for you, because they might mean that if you live in one of these areas, you might find yourself stuck in traffic for a very long time on a very regular basis, wasting a lot of your time in your car doing absolutely nothing. So the first place I'm going to talk about is Davenport, and specifically Davenport on the US 27 corridor, just south of the I-4, all the way down to Haines City. That's a very nice part of town. There are some very nice neighborhoods down there. It's peaceful, it's quiet. However, if you have a need to go to specifically Orlando, Kissimmee, or Celebration from down there, that can be an absolute nightmare. And it's not much better if you need to go to Lakeland or Tampa, because just getting up the US 27 to I-4 can be a bit of a problem most times of day, and specifically in rush hour, and even more in the time of the year that we could call the snowbird season, when our temporary residents come down from November to sometime March, April, when a lot of new people, temporary people live in the area. That's when traffic is really bad. But also on a regular rush hour day, it can be very bad getting up the I-4, up the US 27 to the I-4, or getting home from the I-4 down the US 27 in the afternoon. But that's only part of your problem if you live out there. Going east on I-4, that's where the real nightmare begins, especially in rush hour. But some days, I swear to you, it's from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Traffic is a standstill on that stretch of road from US 27 through the tourist district and all the way up to Orlando. That's the real nightmare from living out there. But if you don't have a need to go out of your area on a regular basis, Davenport around the US 27 is a very nice area. But if you do need to commute to Orlando, Kissimmee, or Celebration on a regular basis, you might want to reconsider that area. I know that they are talking about extending the express part of the I-4 down through the tourist district, and it will probably happen sometime, but knowing that this is a public project, who knows when it'll be finished. So for now, you might want to reconsider that area if you have business or work or school or whatever in that area going up the US 27, and specifically east, but also to a degree if you're going west towards Lakeland and Tampa. I was actually talking to a client who's thinking about selling his home down in that area. His kids goes to Celebration High School, and he takes them to school every morning and picks them up every afternoon. And the trip from his house to Celebration High School is probably somewhere around maybe 15-20 minutes at 3 a.m. at 3 a.m. in the morning. But if you take that trip from his house to Celebration High School during rush hour, it could take as much as an hour each way. That is potentially 4 hours of his life he's wasting every single day bringing his kids to and from school. I don't know how that guy gets anything else done in life, because that's a lot of time spending on the road. Another area that you might want to reconsider if you have business outside of the area, specifically if your business is in Kissimmee or Orlando. Again, just coming from the other side, and that is the part of Kissimmee that's around Pleasant Hill Road, John Young Parkway. That stretch of road specifically, well, actually both of them, but mostly Pleasant Hill Road, but also for the most part, John Young Parkway all the way up to Kissimmee. That can be very congested during rush hour. I drive a lot in all these areas, and I would say I try to avoid going down that area between, say, maybe 7, 8 a.m. in the morning to 10 a.m. in the morning, and again from maybe 3 p.m. to 5, 6 p.m., because during that time it can be very congested. But again, there's so many nice neighborhoods down there, so if you work from home or you don't have any regular things you need to do outside of your home, that could be a very nice place to live. But if you work in Kissimmee, Orlando, or even further west or east, and have to go through those two roads, Pleasant Hill and John Young Parkway, every morning and every evening, you might want to reconsider that area, because it could mean that you get stuck a long time in your car. US 192 is a regular nightmare, especially in tourist season, but also in regular rush hour. So if you live along that, it can be pretty difficult to get to and from work. And it's the stretch I'm talking about on the US 192 is specifically the one between Celebration and Kissimmee. So that's an area where there's a lot of traffic during rush hour. And again, that's an area that's heavily affected also by snowbird season, because when we get this influx of extra residents for a few months every year, which is very nice because they contribute to the economy, and if it wasn't for them and the tourists we get here, there's a lot of things we wouldn't be able to have in Central Florida. But for traffic-wise, it is a bit of a nightmare when we have all the extra people living here. St. Cloud, south of 192, is another area I'd like to mention. There are some really nice and very new neighborhoods out in that area, some beautiful homes. But again, if you need to take the 192 towards Kissimmee, St. Cloud, from that part of town, then you will find yourself stuck in traffic. The good news for the people out there is that there are plans to improve the road network significantly and create a better access to Florida's Turnpike, which means that if you're commuting to Orlando, it'll be a lot easier once that project is done. I think the plan is to finish it within a couple of years, but who knows, public projects again, it could take a much longer time because there could be hiccups along the way. In downtown Orlando, we have another hotspot for traffic. This almost sounds like the news now. We have Mills Avenue between Orlando and Winter Park, which in rush hour can be pretty bad. It's a very nice area because it's so close to downtown Orlando, so close to Winter Park, close to everything. But the road is a little bit small for the amount of traffic it has to take every day. So during rush hour, again, you could find yourself having difficulty getting in and out of the area. But if you work irregular hours, so you don't have to commute during rush hour, or maybe you work from home, it's a beautiful place to live with lots of history. So again, things to weigh up, but know that if you have to go to work every morning at 8 and come home at 5 p.m., you might find yourself stuck in a lot of traffic. There are a few other areas that would be worth mentioning, and that would be anyone who needs to take the 408 east or west through downtown Orlando. That's not a good look in the morning. It's always backed up, and quite often bumper-to-bumper traffic. The 528 past the airport can be a bit of a problem. So again, if you're looking out that area, you might want to either find a route that goes outside of the that goes around the 528, if that's possible, which it is in some instances, or maybe you want to relocate somewhere else. But these are only a few areas in our area that are really that much affected by traffic that I would suggest that you reconsider those areas if you have a commute that's going in and out of the areas. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope you found it useful. And again, if you did, why not subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video. And if you did like the content of this video, at least try to find the 2 seconds it takes to give me a thumbs up. That would be much appreciated. If you didn't like it, please comment below. I would really like to know so I can maybe change for next time and do a much better job. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.